Okay, I'm gonna go through quickly just my pregnancy protocol and the things that I follow. Now, hopefully you've already heard from your OB or midwife or whoever you're doing your baby with, you know, how to drink lots of water, eat healthy foods. Those are really important things that definitely want to factor in. I try to make sure that I really keep on top of measurements on that as far as water, staying hydrated, and then greens. I do use a supplement for greens, and it's called Terra Greens. It's from doTERRA, and I would just have a scoop of that every day for pregnancy, but even afterwards, because it can really help with your nursing supply. And it just made getting lots of greens in a little bit easier for me, because no kidding, when you're pregnant, it sometimes is hard enough just eating, because sometimes you have nausea, or sometimes you just feel so full because you're carrying a baby down there that you just don't want to eat anything. So another thing that you can do to help with like the nausea stuff is you can drink some essential oils, but I would say only doTERRA's, because, and the reason is because of their outstanding testing and their transparency. Like, you can go and look at all the tests on their oils. There's a lot in the essential oil industry where it's just like people are not releasing their test results, and there's a lot of lying involved, and they're not regulated. So with pregnancy, and especially because you've got a tiny human in there, I really just stress, please do not do any other oils internally other than doTERRA's, because the fact is you really don't actually know what you're getting, whereas doTERRA's you do. You have the ability to go and look at the exact test for your oil bottle. They have physicians on their panels. Like, they have just a lot more integrity with the oils and medical advice on how to use the oils. And so please don't take anything in this video and then just go apply it if you're using another brand. Please don't do that, because I don't want to be a cause for you having discomfort or any other things. So please stick with doTERRA oils if you're using any of these videos for help with essential oils. But anyway, so you can diffuse peppermint to help with some of the nausea feelings. You can also just inhale it. I personally found that I really liked this Lemon Sassy blend, which I did not carry out here with me. I should have grabbed it. But this Lemon Sassy blend is really good for blood sugar levels, but also it helps me with nausea. So they have the gum, so I would chew that sometimes. And then I love drinking that in my water, because I really wanted to make sure my blood sugar stayed good, especially when I was carrying twins, because you're more likely to have the diabetes part with carrying twins. So that's something I did just to help with all of that, and it helped me to feel better. Another thing that I did, which was the Lifelong Vitality Pack from doTERRA. It's a 3 supplement pack. Has all these 3 supplements. One is like your omegas, your healthy fats that you need. One is cellular defense, and the other one is your vitamins and nutrients. So these really made a big difference for me energy wise. Like, even with my twin pregnancy, it was like night and day versus my first pregnancy. I did not have these, and I wish I had. I had actually gotten on these after my first pregnancy, when I started dealing with postpartum blues and stuff, and I was just struggling, and these kicked in. Like, I started taking them and saw such a huge difference in my emotional well-being, and I just stayed on them. And then come, twin pregnancy, and then my 4th child, like, such a difference in energy level. Yeah, I had more things taking up my energy, more kids. So I cannot stress how important your supplement routine is if you've got one. A good way to know if you have good supplements or not is simply pull up the ingredient list. For instance, if you have folic acid versus folate, you have a synthetic version of the food that you should be having in your supplement. So make sure you're getting the good stuff that your body actually knows how to use versus the synthetic, because it's not going to use that as well. So a lot of people will say folic acid, and that is in most of your prenatals. You're not getting very much for your money, but you're also just not getting much into your system that's going to help you. So search and make sure whatever you do end up getting, that it is folate, the actual real supplement food that you can very much, like, your body is designed to break down and really use to the full to help support it. So this one is folate, but that's just a quick way to know, are you on target with your supplements, or if you need to be looking for a different supplement. Folic acid versus folate. It's going to really give you some clear direction there on your prenatals. So this is what we use. It really helped us, and then I continue that through postpartum for that health as well. Another thing that we used, and this is especially important during your 3rd trimester, that you start taking probiotics. Okay, so there is yeast infections that you can start getting, or overgrowth, whatever you want to call it, down below, and it's very uncomfortable for you. It's not great for baby either, if you're thinking about the exit and all that coming up. So having good probiotic is like a must for sure. So I take this probiotic. It's double encapsulated, so the probiotic gets completely to my intestines. But here's the deal. This is a great general probiotic, but when you're pregnant, there's a certain strain that you actually need and you want in your probiotic, especially if you're dealing with yeast down below. And I'm probably going to say this wrong, but it's Lactobacillus rhamnosus. So I'm going to spell it for you. And this is what you want to look for in your probiotics. It's in the children's probiotics. So what I do is I alternate one day this, next day this, and that keeps that clean and clear of that problem. So, but it's spelled Lactobacillus, and then the next part is Rhamnosus. So you want to make sure that that's in your supplement, especially for dealing with yeast. And then you can just alternate those. Another thing I used for the yeast that I did have trouble with, so I found these and they started kicking in, but before I got to, you know, where I've realized, oh, it's that strain that I need to have in here that makes all the difference, I was just handling the surface level with the Correct X, just putting some on there, and it did really help take the discomfort down a couple of notches. So that's something you can also do to help just prevent that in that area, but definitely the probiotics is the fix-it part. So that's what you can do for that. Another thing that you may want to know about is, especially like if you have any kind of preterm labor. So I started to have signs of early labor with the twins a couple of times actually before we went into labor, and we did have them early, but for twins it was actually pretty good. And my size, I'm like not even 5'1". So but lavender and Epsom salt baths are wonderful things to do nightly as a soak, to just avoid having your baby earlier than you want to. And you can also rub the roller lavender over your tummy area and on your lower back, and that's just a great preventative. Do it nightly, because it tends to be during the night that your body will actually start kicking in that you know, for whatever reason that is, it's usually during the night that people struggle with that. So do it as a nightly routine, the lavender bath, do the roll-on lavender, and then go put yourself to bed. So, and then if you find that you are feeling a little bit maybe anxious or overwhelmed or a little bit fearful about the bringing in maybe another baby, or just the pregnancy, labor, delivery, you're just feeling a little bit on that overwhelmed, fearful end, here are some oils to help with that, because the thing is, you and your baby are connected, and so if you can relax and be calmer, your baby's gonna feel the effects of that. So we really do want you to, mama-wise, be in a healthy emotional state and not overwhelmed, not fearful, because it's gonna relate to your baby a little bit. So a couple of oils I would diffuse for this is Serenity. It's really great with anxious feelings and calming. You could also do lavender if you have lavender and you don't have the blend. Do that. Citrus Bliss, very uplifting, very kind of more exciting and energizing. So if you're having trouble like seeing the good, or dwelling on the good versus the fear maybe factor, do some Citrus Bliss in your diffuser. Balance is just really great if you just need some calm and some grounding, like feel centered, grounded, okay, this is gonna be fine. Balance is a great one. And Adaptive is really good if you are feeling just very much more tight and stressed out about everything, and maybe it's not the baby or the labor process, maybe it's just that you have a lot going on in life aside from all of that, and that's what's stressing you out. So Adaptive can be a really good one to diffuse as well, and you can make all of these into rollers and apply them topically too if you want, but diffusing just feels really easy, and it gets to you and your household too, so if there's other people involved, you know, it's just a great way to get everybody all at once. So that's what we use there. And then Clary Calm I use this throughout my pregnancy. No, it will not make you go into labor. So the whole thing, superstition with clary sage is that it will make you go into labor, which clary sage is part of clary calm. But the thing is, clary sage will only help promote labor if your body's already showing symptoms or like trying to enter that stage anyway. So it's not going to kick you into labor. So like you can douse down, like you can use like a whole bunch of clary sage and not go into labor if your body is not where it's sending the signals itself that it's time to go into labor. It can be a great one if you have already gone into labor, to make sure you just keep upping that, like helping your body support your body in that like pathway that it's on. Great to use, but it's not going to kick you into labor. It will help you though deal with your hormones during labor. And before labor, like during pregnancy, it's going to help with your hormones. It's going to help keep you balanced, a little bit more sane, which would be good for everybody because we all know how we feel when we get pregnant. So what I do is I roll this on the insides of my ankles and then on my wrist. When I'm pregnant, that's the two places that I apply the oil. And it really does help with the sanity part. And it actually comes with a supplement pack. I forgot to pull it out here, but it's a bone nutrient and phytoestrogen. I take that during pregnancy and especially after I've had the baby, because I know hormones just go a little bit wacky, and I struggle more on the after end, after I've had the baby, having that. But those really will help if you'll add that into your supplement intake, help keep your hormones balanced the whole time to where you feel much more sane, much more in control of your thoughts and feelings. So yeah, your husband will probably also thank you if you're anything like me. So that's clary sage, and you can actually buy the clary calm. Sorry, not clary sage, clary calm. You can buy this in the pack with the supplements, and it's cheaper to buy it together. So that's generally what I do, is I'll buy them together. So that's how I use that one. And then I think this is one of the last ones I wanted to show you. The Aroma Touch is a great massage blend. So not only does it feel great if you get your husband to take some carrier oil and massage this into maybe your sore back at night or feet, but it's a really great oil to help with circulation. So it's got some things in here. It's got cypress, and cypress oil is really good for flow and circulation for your body. So holding fluid in your legs, you know, swelling is pretty common for pregnancy. This oil, I kid you not, kept me from swelling my entire 4th child. And I went almost to 2 weeks overdue. Not quite, but almost there. And I was big. So Aroma Touch, how you use this is you put a carrier oil and, you know, a drop of this, and you massage it into your leg area or wherever. And then what I would do every single day is use your dry skin brushing, because this also helps promote circulation. So what you do for dry skin brushing is you start at the bottom, so like your legs, and you brush upward and upward strokes to your heart, and you're just trying to re-engage like the circulation and kind of like wake that area up. So you're not trying to like brush or be gruff with it. You're not trying to rub your skin off. You're just trying to kind of wake that area up and spark some circulation and some lymphatic flow. So that's how you do all the way up your body, and then your arms, you just come towards your heart like that, and your back. So, but the main thing for like pregnancy, like your legs and your feet, like bring that area up to your heart. Even if you don't do your arms or anything else, do your feet up to your heart to help with that circulation and to keep swelling at bay. So that's what I did for our 4th child, and like it was a big difference having like some of this other stuff I was doing with the twins anyway, but like having that as part of my routine was a really big changer. So that's kind of what we did for pregnancy, to kind of help promote a smooth pregnancy up to the birth part.